evening and welcome to Politics Tonight. I'm WGN-TV political analyst Paul Lisnick, and this is our nightly look at politics around our city, state, and nation. Coming up tonight, the Chick-fil-A controversy continues today as the Chicago Republican Party files a complaint with Lisa Madigan's office accusing the mayor and an alderman of civil rights violations. We'll talk with the man behind that complaint. Plus, for the first time ever, the U.S. Postal Service defaults on a $5.5 billion payment for retiree benefits, with another missed payment just around the corner. We'll talk to one of the Postal Workers Union's leaders about it. And Governor Pat Quinn has shot down a bill that would allow for bulk purchases of ammunition in Illinois because he wants that legislation to ban assault weapons. We'll talk with the sponsor of the bill. Well, we always look forward to you joining our conversation. Our phone line's now open for you at 877-358-CLTV. That's 877-358-2588. But first, here's what's happening in Politics Tonight. Well, Illinois has a new digital privacy law on the books. No boss can ask employees or job seekers for their social media passwords. Governor Quinn signed the so-called Facebook law this morning at IIT. He was surrounded by a crowd of young adults who use social media and who will soon hit the job market. Employers still can ask for usernames to view public posts, but passwords, those are off limits. Senate Republican leader Christine Radogno sponsored that bill and says it got a lot of likes on her Facebook page.
Can't ask for your password, but be discreet and be smart about what you put out there on the internet, because it is still out there and it can affect you.
The new law also protects businesses. Employers won't have to monitor content of their employees on social media like Facebook and Twitter, which helps ensure they won't be held liable for negligence. Well, free preventative health care for women kicks in today under the new health care reform law. For women already in plans with copays or deductibles for those services, they will also be free starting at their plan's next renewal date. Benefits include breastfeeding supplies, screenings for sexually transmitted infections, and counseling for domestic violence, breast and pelvic exams, Pap tests, and prenatal care, and the controversial requirement for free contraceptives. There are exceptions, though. Some plans predating the new law have been grandfathered in, exempting them from offering those benefits. You'll want to call your insurer to check on the status. Well, people lined up at Chick-fil-A restaurants across the country today to show their support for that business. This was the scene outside of Atlanta, right there. The unofficial Chick-fil-A Appreciation Day, started by former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee. A line of cars at a Chick-fil-A in Dallas spilled out into the street. The fried chicken franchise has become a lightning rod, really, for gay rights across the country ever since its CEO said he doesn't support same-sex marriage. Well, here in Chicago, a group of local Republicans filed a civil rights complaint with the Attorney General of Illinois. They object to comments made by Alderman Joe Marino and Mayor Rahm Emanuel. So joining me now is the Vice Chairman of the Chicago Republican Party, Chris Cleveland, here at WGN Studios. Chris, good evening. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
So let me ask you, what is the basis of the complaint? Because, you know, they've been talking and the alderman hasn't said no, so why the complaint now?
Well, it turns out that even the statement that you're going to discriminate against a businessman in the city of Chicago, or really anyone in the city of Chicago, and exercise religious discrimination against them, that's illegal under Illinois law. So we filed this complaint alleging a civil rights violation. You can't do it. We know that aldermen in this town quite frequently use the hammer of government to hammer political opponents. Well, when it's religious discrimination, you can't do it.
So you also included Rahm Emanuel in this complaint, but I thought the mayor was pretty careful about it because one day, of course, he said the statement that Chick-fil-A's values are not Chicago's values, but he was very careful the next day to say, hey, I wasn't saying anything about whether or not they could be here. I was just saying a comment about value. So he put himself, I thought, out of the debate. You didn't?
Well, he's not actually named in the complaint itself that we filed with Attorney General Lisa Madigan today. He was in our remarks. We believe that he also has supported this religious discrimination. We also believe that he has become an economic bully and used the power of government against his opponents when his administration made statements threatening the money for Wrigley Field, threatening it because of the potential contributions that the Ricketts family were going to make to anti-Obama forces. So he's fully in it. Our attorneys are still reviewing what our options are in that regard. We just filed under the Illinois statute today, but there are certainly other statutes that are available to us.
All right. Once again, if viewers want to chime in on the Chick-fil-A situation, 877-358-2588. You'll want to get on the phones right now. Chrissy, here's the thing. I mean, Alderman Marino seems to be pretty clear. I mean, and the tune changed over time. There's no question about that. But it went from a discussion of the gay marriage situation, and we've heard other things. You know, that he just wants to be sure there isn't discrimination in hiring and all sorts of other kind of maybe legitimate concerns to make sure things are handled properly. If things are handled properly, any problem?
Yeah, he backed off because he got caught. But this is the kind of thing that aldermen are doing to political opponents in this town constantly. I'm in the Republican Party, I'm in the opposition party. I see this day after day, continually. If a businessman in the city of Chicago contributes to the wrong candidate, well, if he's got a liquor license, it's at risk. If he wants a parking, pass, a permit for his customers out front, well, maybe that goes to the bottom of the pile. If he wants some sort of zoning variance, there's a reason that the vast majority of political contributions in the city of Chicago come from real estate developers and bar owners. It's because they depend upon the good graces of the aldermen, and this is simply wrong. All
right, let me just ask you, what are the Attorney General's options here? So Lisa Madigan's office gets the complaint. What can she do? What do you expect her to do?
Well, she'll review the complaint. She says that she has accepted it and she will give it fair consideration. She can look at the human rights statute, see the violation, which is clearly there, and then the statute provides for some penalties. I mean, really, we want some penalties against the alderman so that he doesn't do this again, so that when a less media-worthy client or person comes up and he decides to hammer them, he'll think twice because the law is against it.
So as you know, there's sort of aldermanic preference here, and aldermen go along with zoning requests from their colleagues. Shouldn't you be attacking this at a grander level? Maybe that's the problem. Maybe when an alderman wants something to go the other way, the other alderman shouldn't just bow down to it.
Maybe that's true. Maybe we ought to have an actual democracy in this town. That's something that Chicago GOP has been working on for quite some time.
And good luck on that. Now, how quickly do you expect the Attorney General to respond?
Well, there's no...
Or take action.
Yeah, we're not sure. That's really up to her. She has been accused in the past of being unwilling to investigate political corruption, particularly in her own party. We are giving her the opportunity to prove her critics wrong. We hope she will get on it very quickly.
And we'll watch it as well. We'll continue to talk to you about it. Chris Cleveland, Vice Chair of the Chicago Republican Party. Thank you, sir, for coming in. Sure appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
All right. The financial crisis at the U.S. Postal Service hits a new level today as the agency misses a crucial payment for the first time ever. Next, we'll talk about what's happening with our mail service, what can be done to save the post office after the break.